Hello Aquarius, this is Joe, and I'm going to do your July 2020 Twin Flame reading. This is for those of you in separation, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. This isn't going to be a clear, succinct message in the way that I'm not going to, basically my objective is to bring out messages for the overall collective of Aquarius, for the sign of Aquarius, but it's not all going to be one message. There's going to be probably many messages. Some is going to relate to you and some isn't. But we're going to just do a check-in with your person and then with you and just see where things are at. So for those of you with sign Aquarius that are in separation, let's have a look and see what's going on in the moon. So we did just have the moon and the sun eclipse here the other day. And I do feel that this is kind of an energetic upgrade for you, or you've been looking at it as like an energetic upgrade, trying to connect with your person. That some of you are at a physical distance, and I think some of you are just at a distance emotionally from each other. Yeah, you may not be very far apart in distance, but whatever is going on, there's this, to me, is like trying to manifest a new connection using the energy of the summer solstice and the eclipse that we just went through to try and manifest a connection with your person. And I feel like the moon here is almost like they are, for many of you, they're receptive in this. It just, to me, is like this psychic intuition, kind of telepathic connection in a way that's very subtle. But really, to me, it just shows that there is some kind of connection there, especially lately. Some of you might feel like this is increasing or starting to become a stronger feeling that you're having, that something is definitely manifesting in your separation to bring you and your partner closer together. You have the Six of Swords in reverse. So some of you, the first thing I get when I see this card, I said that many of you may not actually be at a physical distance, but it's more of an emotional or intellectual distance, like there's a standoff, or you've been at odds if you know your twin and you've been on and off, or if you know your twin and you just you have never really been together and you're trying to manifest that or trying to bring things together. There's just like there's something blocking that from happening. And I think this card, because I'm pulling cards for your person, is showing that they're still kind of stuck in something. There's something holding them up, and whatever is holding them up needs to be released. But where are they at with that? Let's see if we can pull some more cards and get an idea what might be holding them up, what needs to be released. Four of Wands. So some of you may have a person that is in a karmic relationship still. I'm sorry about the glare here. It's nothing I can do about it right now, but some of you might have your person who's in a karmic relationship that has not kind of completed its cycle, and you kind of know this and you're waiting for that to, I don't want to say this in a negative way, but for that to kind of come apart or to end. It doesn't mean that you want bad things for anybody, but it's you know that you can't, nothing can happen until a karmic cycle completes for your person. And some of you might be waiting for that to happen. Others of you, this could represent your person breaking away from something that they feel like is not fulfilling and doesn't serve them, and so they're looking toward the future, looking for something that is more fulfilling and something that brings them something solid, because their relationship, if they're in a karmic relationship, it might be really shaky for them right now. And I do read cards intuitively, so I always say the first message that I get when I see the card, especially if that message comes right away, before I just put the traditional tarot card meaning on that. So I did get a couple cards that fell out. I'm going to take those because I think we can use those. The first one here is the Five of Wands. So I did say that there is like some relationship that they're in with a karmic that could be on shaky ground, and it's not fulfilling to them. They might be feeling trapped. The Six of Swords, they might not know how to break away from that. But there is this connection here, the moon coming out. I think this is them being receptive to that connection that you're trying to put out there toward your person, kind of out into the ether, out into the universe. And Aquarius, you have the King of Pentacles here for your person also. They might be afraid to break away from their partner because there is an element of stability in there, and sometimes it's hard to break away from something simply because it provides some sort of stability, even though it may not be emotionally fulfilling. But there's strength in reverse, and strength in reverse kind of indicates to me that the barriers and walls are breaking down, that whatever they have recently been kind of up to, or whatever they're going through, something is wearing them down, and it's probably just being trapped in something that has them feeling very unhappy. And so this might, to me, almost indicate like they're going to realize that whatever they're in, whatever they're doing, is not for their highest good, or it's just not building them up. They might be with somebody who's very kind of isn't. I feel that some of you might be dealing with somebody that's with a karmic that they don't have very kind words for your person, and so it's like tearing them down, and it's kind of like, in a way, it's just kind of almost like destroying them in a sense. But what this does is finally gives them the courage to break away from something that's unhealthy. So we're going to see what other messages we get, and then we're going to get into Aquarius for you guys. Now, if you're cross-watching, keep that in mind that this could be either or, but we're going to see what else we get for the sign of Aquarius. Twin flames and separation. So I think there's definitely been a lot of work in this part of your life to kind of get out of all the intellectual crap and get into something that's a little bit more fulfilling. You have the Seven of Pentacles. So again, I feel like there's this element of feeling trapped because there's this stability, but I don't feel like this is like a happy kind of stability. It's just it's easier just to stay stuck and deal with the stuff than to go through all the drama of things kind of coming apart. Yep, and we got Wheel of Fortune coming out and the Sun. So if you've been working on manifesting this relationship, and if you felt like there's like some sort of kind of connection that's been like, again, I'm going to use the word telepathic, and I don't mean that in a way like you could just send a thought and it pops in their head, but that telepathic kind of manifestation, it's kind of hard for me to put the words on it, but I feel like there's something that breaks free for many of you. If you're dealing with somebody who has a karmic partner, or they're just kind of out there wandering around, not wanting to commit. I think most of you know your twin, and something happens here. The Wheel of Fortune here, so there's some kind of thing that spurs a change, and that change to me is maybe a realignment, or more of a, I don't want to use the word chance, but really it seems like something by chance happens and it turns things around. So if you've been working really hard at trying to manifest that relationship, the Wheel of Fortune is really here to kind of cause that to happen, to make that happen. Because if you're twin, the goal is to work on oneself independently of the other, to where there can be a union, and that union is ultimately what you're trying to achieve. And so something karmically has to happen to trigger that, to put that in motion. So if you felt like things have just been very stuck and you're trying to change things energetically to make that happen, for some of you this might actually really be working, and you might be kind of feeling that. You might be feeling a shift in your energy and a shift in that. And then the Sun here is really, the Sun is like the divine saying to you, just keep at it, keep it up. Whatever you're doing is having an impact. This is also, to me, saying that there's like this sense of empowerment in what you're doing, and so something new is going to grow with the Sun card here. Something new is going to grow, it's going to flourish. So if you've been really putting a lot of energy in trying to manifest a relationship with your twin, to me, I think that those of you who have been really focused on that it does start to come through. You do start to see that happening. You have justice here too. So that's like just something karmic really coming out of this. And you know, that's about change. Ace of Swords. So this is like a whole new way of looking at things. And I think some of you have been around the block a few times with this whole concept of twin flame, twin soul, soulmate. You don't have to necessarily believe that you have a twin flame to be watching this to kind of get something out of it, because I think most people at least believe in the concept of soulmates. And so the Ace of Swords to me is like having been around and having a lot of experience up to this point. The Ace of Swords is like a whole new like way of looking at things. This is like a whole new understanding. This is a whole new point of view. So something for some of you has kind of shaped your point of view recently and has kind of changed that. There's definitely like a dramatic change in the way you've been looking at things and the way you've been thinking about things. You have the Seven of Wands. So this is like keeping, to me, negativity at bay, kind of distancing yourself from things that might be trying to drag you down, hold you down, some things that are trying to creep in, maybe some old people, some old habits, or even just random situations, whatever is going on. This, to me, is you doing a very good job of trying to push that back or not engage it, and just being in a better place energetically to where you can almost just kind of just go through whatever is coming at you that isn't for your highest good. And it's like it's really not even touching you. You are just kind of, you're aware of it, but it's not really dragging you down. It's not holding you down. I think the Ace of Swords kind of really speaks to that. A whole new way of looking at things, a whole new way of thinking. Oh, we got two cards here. You have the Nine of Cups, so you have the Wish card. So you definitely believe that you have something very important here that's probably going to manifest in your life very soon. I think this is like, this points to your desire, but I also think this points to something tangible actually taking place. And I think this is an energetic boost to you. It's a boost to your emotional body. It's a boost to your morale, and it's like starting to feel like all your hard work is starting to pay off, and in that hard work you start to see results. And I think you are in a really good place. There's been a lot of hard work on your part to keep your vibe up and to distance yourself from things that just are a little too much for you. You don't. I think a lot of you have put a lot of work into this up to this point, and you're not willing to let anything drag you down or pull you back. But it is the Wish card. That's at least what it's called, and this is about the things that you want in what you would consider a good, fulfilling, satisfying life coming your way. And then you have the Seven of Swords, which fell out too. And I did talk about this Seven of Wands. So you have two sevens here. The Seven of Wands to me was like riding above all the things that are trying to pull you back and trying to drag you down or catch you off guard or ensnare you, and you're not having any of it because you have such a high belief in what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to do, that you're really not going to allow yourself to be knocked off balance, because I think you've been down that road many times before. I said you've been around the block, you've experienced a lot of things, and you now know what not to do. And so this, to me, the Seven of Swords is like not letting anybody take anything from you anymore at this point. And I don't necessarily mean anything physical, take anything tangible or materially, but not take pieces of you anymore, rob you of your joy, your peace, and your happiness, I feel like there's somebody, for some of you, there's somebody in your life. You may have an ex or an ex-karmic partner or somebody that is really, a pain in your side, and they're really always trying to cause trouble, or they're just a source of trouble, but you've done such a good job at distancing yourself from them, because I think you realize that any feeding any negativity or any gaslighting really is just, it's a drag on what you're trying to manifest. It's slowing it down, it's holding it up, and you don't want to be knocked off balance, because I feel like many of you Aquarius are just so determined to manifest this relationship and to get it actually progressing to a place that brings you a lot of what you've been hoping and wishing for. Now, you have the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like this to me represents a healing. There's definitely been a lot of healing on your part, but I think this also represents healing in the person that you're trying to bring in. And I don't, I always read the cards intuitively first. I feel like I always have to say what comes out first. So like this to me is like healing yourself, learning to heal yourself, working on yourself, building yourself up, finding value in yourself, and valuing yourself much higher than you have in the past. And let's see if we get anything else. We need one more, at least one more for Aquarius here. And we'll see if we get one to come out. We have the Three of Pentacles. So again, the theme to me is valuing yourself, elevating yourself, working on yourself, valuing who you are, seeing your successes, seeing how far you've come, the challenges, everything that you've overcome. And to me, this also is like you're looking forward to working with your person in the future, not just in a day-to-day relationship, but some of you may have visions of working with your person in some higher cause or something that you're very passionate about. And then we have the Six of Cups here. This, I think this is just, to me, this card can sometimes get a bad rap, but I don't see it this way. This is really, to me, is like finally realizing that your dream, your vision is coming through, and it's something that you can actually see starting to materialize in the near future, that you are recognizing that all your work and efforts are actually beginning to materialize. That's beginning to happen, and you're feeling very closer. You're feeling a lot closer than you have been in the past to coming into union with your twin. Excuse me, I'm tripping over my tongue here, but coming into union with your twin. So it's actually something you could see that is very much a real thing, and it's there. To me, I feel some of you have almost given up on this time and time again, but you felt something just inside you is so incredibly drawn to this that you couldn't let it go, and you had to pursue this, and I think it's finally paying off. You have the Hermit on the bottom of the deck, so really this is that inward focus. That inward focus and that self-illumination really is being a light to your person and attracting them your way. So the more work we do on ourselves independently, the more we are becoming closer together and drawn together. For those that are seeking a union with their twin, it's just a natural thing that happens. And we're going to pull one of these, I think. I have this one card that is stalking me, and let's see what we get. Nope, a leg up. Okay, it didn't come out this time. Good. So whatever you're doing is helping the process along, and it's contributing to things manifesting in a positive way more than you realize. And I think that this is being a help to your partner, because I feel like for some of you, they're kind of further behind than you. But I think this is something that whatever you're doing is encouraging things, staying away from that negativity, staying away from anybody that is like trying to get into your space and cause any troubles. It doesn't have to be somebody that's an ex partner. It could be really anybody that is trying to just disrupt what it is you're doing. Some of you, I think somebody's really gaslighting you, and you're not having any of it. You've just kind of separated and cut off communication. By doing that, by just staying in a higher energy, you're really causing this whole process to move along much quicker. And again, I feel like you're starting to realize that your big dream is starting to actually mean something. You're starting to see it get closer together. You can feel it, and I feel like a lot of you felt like this summer solstice and this eclipse was a huge boost to your energy and a huge boost to what you're trying to do. So Aquarius, that's the messages I have for Twin Flames and Separation for July 2020. If you resonate with this, do me a favor, make sure you leave me a comment, like the video. If you want to hear more, go ahead and subscribe, and you will get notifications next time I post a video. Have a great rest of your day.